Guys, welcome back to the channel for some traditional old school content that I originally started out doing way back when, before I had 117,000 subscribers. When I had just 17 subscribers, I started doing Flipper Zero videos, and that's actually where I got my start on YouTube. Now, this is probably going to be the last video I do on Flipper Zero, but it is something that I wanted to do and I never got around to doing it, and that is restaurant pagers. We're going to troll restaurant pagers. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and been given one of these things? And you take it back to your table and you wait patiently for you to be paged. Do you ever wonder how these things work? Wouldn't you love to be able to just make yours beep so you can go up there and be the first in line? Well, that's what I am going to play around with today. And I got myself a real restaurant pager system here. This is the control pad. And just like I was showing here, we take number 6 off the base. He's now listening, and the way it's done is you just go here back in the kitchen. They would do that and send out the signal. And you bring it back, and when you put it on there, it gets power. There's power terminals on here and here. When it sees its power, it shuts off. So, how are we going to hack this system with a Flipper Zero? You may ask. Well, we're going to transmit with this guy, and we are going to listen with a Flipper Zero. Now, there's something different about this system that you would not expect. Typically, pager systems, remote control systems are AM, amplitude modulation. But this system is FM, and it's long range. So we're going to dive into that in a minute. However, I want to show you guys something here. And I'm not talking about, hold on, there we go. Our sponsor, IoT Mug. See this site, guys, you got to check it out. They sell some pretty badass Flipper Zero accessories, and I was responsible for helping them develop a lot of this stuff. And you probably remember one of my first videos that I did where I'm preempting traffic lights by transmitting a 14 hertz pulsed signal. That's what this is. And you can get one for $18.99. It's known as the Dazzler Infrared Blaster. They're actually coming out with a new one with a battery on it. That was my recommendation because powering it off the Flipper Zero alone, it's just not going to have the range. So here's one down here. I believe this one has the battery on it. Let's check it out. Yep. The battery goes on the back. Look at that. So that is going to throw out a lot of power in the infrared range. So if you guys want to get one of those, IoT Mug, there's where to go. So, the other thing they sell is radio modules, and this is something that we are going to be playing with today. I had a lot of input on some of these modules here. This one is the 2.4 gig range. Can be used for anything in that band. Let's go back here. This is the one here we're going to be using today. And you will recognize it right there. It's known as the blue module. And that will extend your range to troll the pager systems, which is what we're going to start doing next. Okay guys, I am now going to show you how to use the Flipper Zero to emulate one of these pager systems signals. Now, the reason why, and I know there's a lot of people that have tried this because they're very interested, the reason why you can't get a Flipper Zero, just standard, to control one of these pager systems is to do with the modulation. Now, everybody using their flipper is always controlling whatever the garage door and whatever. It's AM and the modulation is 650. But this system here, pager systems have a much longer range. They're designed for, a longer range. And the way they accomplish that is to go to frequency modulation, FM. And yeah, this system here actually can operate up to a mile away with a larger antenna on it. Some businesses like to give people, while they wait out in their car, a pager. So it needs to, it needs to have some range to it. It needs to have some power to it. So they are using FM, and I'm going to show you when you go to your Flipper Zero. We'll put it on the computer here so you can see it a little bit better. When you go to read, you see it says mod, which is modulation AM 650. Now this system is using the very standard frequency of 433.92. However, this system has 30 different frequencies that it can be also using. However, it comes out of the box using 433.92. And most likely, most restaurants will not change that frequency because if they do, they would actually need a license. So the 433.92 is one of those frequencies that you can transmit remote control devices on without needing a license. So here we go. We are going to go into the config and we are going to change the modulation to FM 95. And I am also going to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to turn the sound on. And as soon as I do that, you can hear nice crisp FM static coming out of the Flipper Zero. And okay, pager number 3 is parked right now. It is on the charger stand, so it is not listening. It is charging. And we're going to go back here and we're going to read raw and we're going to start recording. And I am going to transmit number 3, and there it is. It's recording it. Okay, well, let's stop that. And now if I take this pager off of the charger stand, number 3, and I play this back. There we go. That's how you do it, guys. That is how you do it. And yep, it's FM 95, guys, the modulation. This is what you need to be using, and we'll do that again. We'll play it back. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. I recorded all of them, and I'm going to play that back in a second. Hold on. Okay, guys, before we go, I am going to show you something really amazing here. I'm going to troll this restaurant's pager system, and it's actually going to be pretty funny. So here we go, guys. I'm actually going to be using an external radio module from IoTmug.com. It's a Flipper Zero. It uses the CC1101 radio chip. It's also known as the blue module, and there it is there on the interface board. I have one right here. My interface board is a little bit different because mine was prototype. However, yeah, the new one has a capacitor on it. They upgraded it. It's much better. Well worth the $30, I tell you that. There's so much you can do with this thing. Now, here we go, guys. I am going to transmit a signal that I made, which is going to trigger all of them. Now, can you imagine doing this at a restaurant just for fun? It's basically sequencing through all the codes. One more. There we go. We got them all. Check out IoT Mug. They also have traffic light controllers. Okay, we're almost done here. One left. Okay, thank you for that demonstration. And yeah, I just want to point out IoT Mug also has some other really cool devices like traffic light controllers. This is actually how I found them because I have some traffic lights, and I'm going to show you next. Hold on. So when I did my traffic light video, I had this guy reach out to me, and he was an industrial electrician for a municipality nearby. And he said, we got a yard full of traffic lights. Would you like a pair? I'll bring them by. And I was like, are you serious? And the guy brought these over to me. And they're like real traffic lights, and they're huge. And I was like, wow, what am I going to do with them? Well, I got them out in my garage here, and I put them up on the wall. And then I thought, well, you know, it'd be cool if I could get them to work. So this is when I found IoTmug.com. I bought a controller off of them, and I installed it in my traffic lights here. And yeah, so basically the one on the left, I call that the side road, and the one on the right is the main road. And there's different sequences you can do. This is the European. I thought this was kind of interesting, the yellow flashes. And yeah, it's European. So there's like 30 different sequences you can do. And so there you go. So what I actually did is these things open up on the side here, and there's the controller inside. But yeah, these are official traffic lights. Look at that. They got all the certifications on them. And these are LED traffic lights. And it only uses 8 watts of power, which is crazy low for the amount of light it puts out. Must be really expensive, these things. But anyways, yeah, I got these given to me, and it was pretty cool. Really, really cool. So guys, check them out. IoTmug.com.